Awesome. So, Ashley, first and foremost, you're a Virgo rising. This is really good for you. I would say, every rising sign has its advantages and disadvantages. I'll talk about
Mhm.
the disadvantages first, just because you're a Virgo rising. One of the disadvantages of a Virgo rising, you're not necessarily a natural born leader. It's not to say
Mhm.
that you can't lead, but it's just something that you prefer to support others and improve them and guide them, really just help them find mistakes in their process.
Mhm.
So just that's your strategy is, Virgo is an earth sign as well, which means that a lot of what you need to be doing almost every day is manifesting and being practical. So what is manifesting? Manifesting is really just us taking an idea and making a plan and then making it reality. So if you do a lot of to-do lists, if you're really scheduled, have a bunch of planners and a whiteboard, you're doing great.
Mhm.
You don't have two of those three things, that's okay. If you're doing one, that's still sufficient.
Mhm.
uh, that's going to be the way that you organize yourself more often than not, emotionally, physically, psychologically, in relationships. You're going to want to write a lot of the things you need to get done down by hand.
Mhm.
This is going to help you manifest. Being practical is really, acknowledging the certain feelings like anxiety or stress or lack of confidence or anything that comes into your psyche. And we want to write down also by hand what emotions you do want to feel. And I want you to write those often because it's going to help you gain
Mhm.
confidence internally and then outward.
Mhm.
That's going to be a big piece, especially because you have Venus in your first house, in the house of your appearance. It's the house of your personality. It's the house of your body. It's the house of your strategy to life. That's going to be, Venus is going to be there for the next until the, oh my god, I'm blanking out, 1 second.
No problem.
Okay, we're good. The 29th.
Mm.
So September 5th through September 29th for you, it's really important to be really mindful. Also, because you're Virgo rising, people are going to be finding you very attractive. So what I would do is take advantage of this. When the sun and Venus is in your first house and you're
Mhm.
Virgo rising, you have basically a month to impress people, improve, get on camera, go on dates, get a promotion,
Yeah.
uh, just really get as much attention as possible. I know you may not like it as a Virgo rising. That's not really the point. The point is to,
Yes. Make
you
a
know,
good.
yeah, the point is to take advantage of the energy in the moment, and have fun. Really, that's the big thing, is having fun. I would say something for you. Do you practice breath work or meditation?
I don't, but I should.
One of the two, or yoga, one of those three would be good. As a Virgo rising, the way the sign works is you're really health focused. So as long as you prioritize your health, even if like something terrible is going on in your life,
Yeah.
you focus on your health, it will
Mhm.
improve naturally.
Yeah.
Whether that's mental, physical, psychological, however you want to approach it, I would take all three routes.
Mhm.
But again, if you do one or two, that's going to be really great. So on your to-do list every day, you should definitely throw one of those things on the list. The more you write it on the list, the more you're going to convince yourself internally. And then
Yeah.
you're going to end up doing it one day, and then it's going to go for 2 days, and then it may or may not stop. And then it'll happen for 3 days and may or may not stop. And then it'll happen for one day, and then it'll happen for 10
Mhm.
days, and then it'll be 3 months, and then it'll
Mhm.
be, you know what I mean? Uh,
Yeah.
this is how we gain consistency.
So one question that I have about that and consistency in general, I also have noticed, just being myself, that Sometimes I will have the best of intentions to like write in journals or build up a habit of, writing. However, a lot of the time I end up doing like it on very random days, or I'm not very consistent with the habit. I like if, I were to just use what I've learned so far, I would say it could be an influence of, having Mars in Sagittarius, of wanting to be more random sometimes. But I'm just wondering, is there any other placement that I should really pour into to build up the discipline to continue that habit?
Yeah, there's definitely the four fixed signs, but I want to acknowledge what you said about Sagittarius. I'm a Sag Moon North Node.
Okay, yeah.
One of the skills of Sagittarius is writing.
Mm-hmm.
Sagittarius people are some of the best, some of the most like famous writers have Sagittarius placements, or they're a Sagittarius sun.
Yeah.
Because Sagittarius know how to tell a good story.
Mm-hmm.
So when you go into your journal, like I said, I'm a Sag moon, so I just feel it. And also I have a North Node there, which is my purpose. So what I was taught from my first reading was to make a story in your head of what you want to become. And those 5 things should be shaping that character every day. Again, you got to have fun. Like it needs to be fun.
Yeah, it needs to be fun.
Yeah, the Sagittarius.
Right.
That's why I said that, the Sagittarius needs the fun.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's not fun. So we got to make it fun, whether that's like, sometimes I'll write on my list, go out this weekend and party, or go do something for yourself, or take care of self-care. And I'll just like go get a haircut or something and walk instead of like take a car, just
Yeah.
whatever sounds interesting. And the only thing I'm asking you to do is to do one of those 5 things.
Yeah.
The habit that's really going to get formed is you writing down 5 things every day. That's the secret thing, is you having a plan of action every day, so you're not spinning your wheels.
Yes. Yeah.
So just get good at utilizing your like journal often, because Sagittarius, there's a skill that Sagittarius has, and so does Virgo. It's called bibliomancy. Write that down.
Bibliomancy.
Biblio, B-I-B.
Liomancy.
Perfect. I know planets, not words. So bibliomancy is when you channel or divinate through a book or page or a card. It's anything that's paper. And this is what makes Sagittarius, Virgos, and Gemini so good at learning spiritual things, or just learning things quickly in general. So even though you have no planets natally in your first house, you can still manifest it by writing things down and getting those things done.
Okay.
When I first started, it was brush my teeth and fix my bed, because it was the easiest way to guarantee that I would get.
You would cross something off.
Yeah, and then it would build momentum for the next thing. Sometimes I would even put on there, go to work.
Yeah.
I knew I was going, so I'd get one thing done.
Yep.
And it inspired confidence, and I've been doing it now for almost 7 years.
Wow. Okay.
And I am, if you knew me 7 years ago, I was very inconsistent.
Yeah. Okay.
Now a lot of people rely on me to be consistent. I'm an Aries rising, Pisces, Sun, Sag, Moon. My chart screams inconsistency.
Okay.
So this is a really practical, easy habit that I've used for almost a decade now, that I can say will help.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Of course, I'm just being a little vulnerable, so it's real.
Yeah, that it really helps, because sometimes I'm like, I know I can be disciplined. There are moments where I'm very disciplined, but there are also moments where I'm like, oh, I want to do something else. I think that does also come from it, maybe it just not being fun anymore.
Well,
And
also, let me say this. A lot of things we learn are from our parents and our upbringers, people we
mhm,
grew up around. If they didn't have a practice
mhm,
type that they did consistently, this is why sports is so good for kids. It's because you
yeah,
have every day,
right.
not once every week or twice every week or every so often, every
Yeah,
day.
consistent thing. Yeah.
So when
Mm,
you attach the things you want to do to the things that you want to do, to the things that you want to be, this is good
mhm.
because you already want to do it.
Yeah. And one of your 5 things is that also like the emotion you, well, I guess that's something maybe more for Virgo to develop confidence, especially since you said an Aries sun. So you probably have a lot of that in, internally. But one of the 5 things, would that also be like an emotion I want to feel during the day, or is it more so just things that I want to do
I would say, yeah, take time to
or
process
accomplish?
your emotions. I used
Mm-hmm.
to, there was a few months, there was like a 8-month period where I would schedule, I was going through like a very deep Capricorn. I was going through my Capricorn progression. It went into, it went into Capricorn from Sag. And I was
Mm-hmm.
like, oh my God, like I need to get my life together. So
Yeah. Okay.
every day I would schedule time to cry.
Yeah, I
And it would
gotcha.
could be for like 10, 15 minutes. I'd put
Yeah.
on, a song or a movie or whatever felt good or right at the time. Or I'd just take a nap.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's
That's,
how we use Virgo rising. Especially these until the 29th. People are gonna really find you attractive when you take care of yourself in those ways that we just talked about.
okay.
The next thing in your chart here is gonna be your sun sign is of course Capricorn. We've got your Mercury, we've got Neptune and Uranus. This makes you a stellium. Stellium in the chart, all that means is it's the most powerful place in the chart, like the most powerful house specifically.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever house a stellium falls in, that makes that person's life kind of directed towards those topics.
Mm-hmm.
So for you, your primary focus in life, natally speaking in tropical astrology, is going to be you care deeply about romance, you care deeply about children, you care deeply about um, expressing yourself creatively. These are like all very prominent things for you to be
Mm-hmm.
using. I'm gonna pull up a slide real quick from my most recent class for you.
Yeah.
You see
Great.
this?
Mm, I still see the screen with the wheel or the
Okay.
chart.
How about now?
Oh yeah, now I see the chart with each of the descriptions for the houses.
Yeah. So the fifth house is going to be romance, love, affairs, play, creativity, fertility, childlike spirit, joy, self-expression, drama. Are you a business owner?
I'm not a business owner, but I work in corporate.
Do
Um,
do you want to do business?
Not really, but that is what I do today. I mean, I think I would be more excited about having my own business and letting the focus of the work be, or the focus of the business be whatever I'm passionate about. Right
Right.
now, I'm working for a corporate company where everything I'm doing is for the company, and I don't really believe in the mission of the company. So it's kind of disheartening for me. It's a disheartening experience to work there. But I would love one day to open my own business and be able to have a lot more control over just what the service is.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, I think, like I said before, with a Virgo rising, you're not
Mm-hmm.
the best leader. But the positive sides that I wanted to share with you are,
Yeah.
um, you are one of the best servants. So Virgos are typically the Virgos that are business owners, they thrive when they are doing some type of service to their community.
Mm-hmm.
Um, this helps them become the leader. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
the more you serve people, for example, the more people you serve in
Mm-hmm.
business typically mean it usually equates to having the most money.
Yeah.
So there's this guy long time ago. He had a bunch of rice crops in Japan,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and rice is like a staple, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So he made a lot of money because he was feeding a lot of people,
Yeah.
because what he was selling was, fundamental pretty much for
Mm-hmm.
people. And you can bring this into your business. You can bring this into anyone's business, really. That's a skill that you have to take advantage of, for any reason. Can you still see my?
Yes, now I see that you flip back over to the chart.
Yeah, cool. So that's how we want to utilize Virgo and
Mhm.
Capricorn. Capricorn wants to lead, but Virgo, the positive traits of Virgo is your level of service is really high. You're very spiritual from like a physical standpoint. This is why yoga, stretching your body, moving your body, getting, you know, being as healthy as possible is going to help you just be way better, more efficient.
Yeah.
You're going to feel clear-minded. You're going to want to improve constantly. And that's something that's going to be a massive part of your life, is improving constantly.
Yeah.
And then the stellium in your fifth house brings up all of these topics we talked about earlier: romance, love, affairs, play, creativity, fertility, childlike
Mhm.
spirit, joy, self-expression, and drama are things that you should lean into in your life. If you're not a dramatic person, you're kind of like to be quiet.
Yeah.
That's not how your chart works.
Yeah. Okay. And maybe sometimes that's me being insecure about my affinity for drama.
Yeah,
Or
I'm here literally to remind you, be dramatic.
okay.
It'll only make your life more fun. Obviously, don't hurt anyone. Just
Yeah.
keep it fun. Tell your stories. Be dramatic. Nothing's wrong with that.
Yeah.
So the next big thing in your chart is you have an Aquarius North Node in your chart right now. Saturn is going over that. So this is a really good time. Your purpose is your North Node, by the way. What's your life purpose? It's your North Node. Your North Node, Aquarius. Your purpose
Mhm.
is to communicate and listen to a community and serve them. So this can include, you're very good at doing fundraisers. It could actually become a full-time thing for you. Raising money is very energetically easy for you.
Mm.
The more things you learn about raising money, helping startups, I think that'd be a
Yeah.
really good thing for you. Like, the more you learn about marketing that, or fundraising, or
Yeah.
community building, this
Mhm.
will escalate anything you do in your work. Always, your purpose is literally to bring people together, and that can look so many different ways.
Yeah. And when you say my purpose is bringing people together, that's something I definitely resonate with. And I see even in like friend groups, my will to bring friends together if they don't know each other, and create connection among people that may not be familiar with each other. I love doing that. However, there are times when I do see my push to do that, especially in like my early 20s. I maybe wasn't as thoughtful about the mix of energies in the room. So there have been times where my will to bring people together has actually kind of been at my detriment in a way. But then there are also times where it's been very beautiful, beautiful thing to have all these people brought together. So I wonder if that's looking at like my 11th house. I know that I have Chiron in my 11th house. I wonder what you think about that and its impact on just groups and community and my, affinity to bringing groups together. Like, how does Chiron impact that, if at all, for what you
It
can
does. It completely does. I was definitely going to bring that up.
Yeah.
There's there too. So the whole point of the past is, they're lessons. You needed to make mistakes
Mm-hmm.
so you could improve, because that's what part of your zodiac sign wants to improve of your chart.
Is that the
Which
to improve?
part
Would
of
that
your
be
chart?
the first three houses? No.
Which zodiac did we say specifically makes you want to improve?
Capricorn?
First one we talked about.
Oh, Virgo.
Yeah.
All right.
You're supposed to make
Mm-hmm.
bad choices with friends in the past. That means the fact that you know it now means you have the potential to improve it.
Okay. Yeah.
Chiron is you're emotionally sensitive to your loved ones, your
Mm-hmm.
family, women in your life, especially. And this
Mm-hmm.
is why you had to heal from your pain. The wounded healer, Chiron. The way I kind of describe it most times is how you heal yourself and other people.
Yeah.
So this is how we connect to improving. And if you want to
Mm-hmm.
improve your relationships, this is something you can write down on your 5-thing to-do list every day, 7 days a
Mm-hmm.
week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Me
So
include that.
the next piece, Jupiter is there with your Chiron.
Mm-hmm.
Jupiter expands anything. So you normally have a lot of women around you or feminine people around you.
Mm-hmm.
And they usually don't have the best boundaries, or they have issues with their mother. And they can sometimes bring this onto you, or share this with you, or
Yeah.
have this with you. So
Yeah.
it's important for you, like I said before, to just maybe invest in some teaching, some time or some money into managing larger groups of women.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you transmute this, you have the potential to be a leader for women, and have a really large community of women
Yeah.
online, in person, a combination of online and in person. I could see you definitely doing retreats, teaching women skills that skills that you've learned.
Mm-hmm.
Anything you learn, by the way, is something you can give back, and you can give it back for free. You can give it back for a price.
Yeah.
That's how life coaches, which would be a great industry for you,
Mm-hmm.
kind of develop. So that's how we'd use the Aquarius North Node for your purpose. That's your purpose in life. That's how
Mm-hmm.
you use it, is bringing people together. Get creative with how you do that. Do some more research and study on like routes that feel good to you. I can
Mm-hmm.
only I can give you ideas, but
Yeah.
you're gonna get closer when you
Yeah.
sit down.
The ideas are super helpful. Actually, when you say like my purpose is listening to audiences and then serving those audiences based on what I've heard, um, I or written down in a sense, like I've been taking notes as I'm listening to them. Um, I right now in my day-to-day, I'm a insights manager. So I listen to audiences, I conduct surveys, focus groups, I bring people in a room together. I ask them questions about the products that we make, and then I use their answers to the questions to form insights or strategy, business strategy of how we can move forward. So it sounds like I've stumbled upon something that is more of a life purpose to me, but it's not in a favorable way, in my opinion. Like I wish I was doing what I'm doing now, but just in a different sense where it actually is serving, because right now I feel like it's just making a company a lot of money, um, more than actually helping people. Um, so I love the ideas that you shared about ways where I could effectively use that instinct that I have in my North Node being an Aquarius, but in ways that could actually help people. That's really exciting to me. And, I'll definitely start to pull that more into my life. I've already started doing some more community work since I've moved back to DC, which has been really great. Um, but I definitely see what you're saying, is that being something that is definitely important to me. I completely resonate with that. So yeah, I'll be doing some more thinking on how to bring more of that into my life to have a more fulfilling life versus using a gift that I have just to make a profit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's so many ways to approach for profits. You know, some of the
Mm-hmm.
profits I've seen, they have a really good donation spend. They
Mm-hmm.
give back, 10% of total revenue or 2% or 5%, whatever feels good, that
Mm-hmm.
helps feel more ethical or balanced. Or,
Mm-hmm.
just giving out services for free. So if you want to talk to your company about doing that, or if you go, when and if you go
Yeah.
independent, you'll have like a good moral code for what you want to do and who you want to do that with, whether
Mhm.
it's a company, a partner, yourself, collaborations, anything like that.
Yeah.
Cool. So we talked about your Chiron, we talked about your North Node, your midheaven's the next piece.
Mhm.
Um, right now, Mars just went over your midheaven. This
Mhm.
is now, of course, like we said before, wanting to make changes in your career. Mars
Mhm.
is kind of action, it's a warrior. Mars likes to have fights. Mars likes to be angry. Mars likes
Mm.
to, make a scene a little bit. This is good and bad, but
Yeah, yeah. And quick story on me actually feeling this transit, and it's so funny that it's to like nearly to the degree now.
yeah,
But last week, so probably when it was at 9, um, my manager at work, for the past couple of months, I've been moving and dealing with family problems, and I haven't been focused on work at all. And honestly, like I haven't been performing the way that I know that I'm able to. And my manager, I just got this job early this year. So this is her only experience in my work. So, and as far as she sees it, she's like, okay, this person that I hired is not capable of doing everything she said she could do. So this past week, she actually offered, or she suggested that she put me on something called a pivot plan, which would mean I would be basically either coached out of the company or coached to improve at the company.
mhm,
And it's like an offer of a severance package. Um, I thought about it for a few days and I decided to just keep working at the company rather than taking the package, since I think staying at the company longer would benefit me in the long run, especially if I know I can do the work. But
yeah,
I feel like it's war. Like I feel like this woman has just declared war on me. She's not supporting me, but she's my manager. So she's the closest person that I have at my job, but she doesn't believe in me at all. So it feels like at that job. And of course, like while I'm progressing and fighting in my role and fighting to stay here, fighting to show them that I can actually do the things I said I could do, I'm also going to use the Venus transit through my first house to talk to other people and other companies and network and make sure that I have a backup plan. But yeah, this has been like brutal going through that with her. And just knowing that, okay, if I'm going to produce or whatever I do, it's going to be met with some gaze of skepticism, because in the past couple of months, I just haven't been focused on work, which is also like kind of new for me. So yeah, that's definitely something that I see right now and I'm experiencing.
For sure. And I would say also, we're gonna, really thrive if we use Gemini rules the hands, Gemini rules the mouth. It's important for you to be writing and speaking affirmations about what you do want to see happen in the spaces that you're occupying. Because you're a spellcaster, you're a Capricorn known as the devil. There's a reason for that. Capricorns are really good at manifesting. That's why they're called the devil.
Mm-hmm.
The devil's in the details, which is where Virgo thrives, right?
Yeah.
So when we start to connect these things with your actions and what you're doing, going to war with someone at this corporate job ultimately is what's going to help you long term. You're staying for a reason, and the reason is to improve.
Mm-hmm.
It's really to improve. So having structure through a company is something that a lot of us do need, because we don't always get it from our parents or our upbringers right away. So work, school, all these things are kind of tools to facilitate what we want to create long term, and we intuitively fall into those things. So you staying is, if that's what you need right now, do it. Just know also these next 6 months, it's very important for you to just start writing.
Yeah.
It's really good for you to chip at a book, reading, writing book, either or both, networking and applying to different jobs, just talking a lot to a lot of people for reasons and for no reasons.
Yeah.
To just allow that to happen, because your midheaven is at 9 degrees. This is what I was saying earlier. It's really going to be in your career to teach, coach. Those are things you're going to be very famous for. If you teach and coach, it's going to allow you to have a lot of money and a lot of freedom, and it comes through learning quickly, faster than the people around you, at least. So the more you study whatever you choose to study, which I would suggest things like philosophy, spirituality, astrology, travel, those are all the big things. Your midheaven's at 9 degrees, which is a Sagittarius degree. So, as Mars passes, it's going to cause, having an opposition to your Sagittarius Mars.
Yeah.
Mars opposite Mars transit, look it up.
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
For lack of better words.
Yeah.
This
And
is why you
so that
speak.
is,
This
it's
is why
now
you what you want into existence, because it's going to help you. The more you speak what you do want into existence, the more it'll help you. And if you don't know what you want, guess what? Someone's picking for you.
Yeah, right.
So this is why a lot of people start their own business.
Yeah.
This is why people go independent. This is why a lot of people become nomads and, float off into the distance doing whatever.
Yeah. And that transit with Mars opposite Mars, that is approaching, or what is it called? Ingressing, or but it's approaching the 13th degree. That probably won't happen for a couple more weeks, maybe.
It'll be there on the 14th.
Oh, okay.
So not even 5 days.
Okay. Is that, and you said that that's like a brutal transit.
It can be if you don't know what's going on.
Yeah, so yeah, go ahead.
If you know what's going on, you're in a good spot. So when we're working with oppositions, very important, because you know it's here, we can work with it. Right? So how do we do that? First of all, well, we need to, I'm going to pull up something for you too from another one of my presentations, just so you can really lock in with me. How much time do you still have, by the way? Because we've been on for
I can go another 10 minutes, but then I have to drop. Sorry, but This is so great. I'm so excited to finish this conversation.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, yes, I can.
So Mars opposite Mars, when we go through, the planets are in polarity, creating a deep tension, which can lead to frustration when not integrated. So the things you need to integrate right now is your Mars, which is how you are aggressive.
Yeah.
Usually when I see Mars transits happening, I just tell people, like, you need to work out. You need to go meditate. You need to stretch out your body. You got to talk to people about what you like and don't like.
Mm-hmm.
And it starts with talking to yourself.
Yeah.
So when we get into oppositions, you know, it only is painful if you don't integrate. So what
Okay.
the best way to integrate is to use the qualities of Gemini and Sag. Gemini wants to communicate and listen to people. Those are the primary functions of air signs. Communicate, listen. Primary function of a Sagittarius is to inspire and encourage. So if that means you giving compliments to your bosses, your supervisors, your employees that work with you, to yourself, and just being a really uplifting, joyful person for no absolute reason,
Yeah.
that would help you a lot.
Okay.
That would be the most like clear, direct advice. Walk around your office, give people compliments, tell them they're so good. When you ask for help, which you need to, when you need help, because that's probably what the lesson is, not to go too deep into your psyche, but like,
oh, you're right.
you need to learn how to ask for help.
Yeah.
And be okay with that, and laugh at yourself and make fun of yourself and improve.
Mm-hmm.
I do that in my own business every day.
Yeah.
I ask my friends, I talk to my colleagues, even my 3 assistants. I need 3 assistants. Most people need 1.
Yeah.
I need 3 assistants. So I talk to them about what they literally drag me. I ask them to drag me. We'll make a to-do list and I'll do it. And then they'll say, why didn't you tell me you finished it? Because I'm so independent, and it's not going to work if I want to build a company that helps a lot of people.
Yes, yes.
So this is how I'm transforming through my transformations already. And this all stems from writing 5 things down every day and doing 1.
Yeah.
People are sending me lists now because I'm so good at finishing my own.
Got it. And you said writing 5 things down and only doing 1, but once you do 1, you kind of get the motivation to knock out the others on your list.
I don't like motivation. It's not a reliable source.
Yeah.
I would say momentum is really what.
You get the momentum, right?
Yeah, I rely on momentum. And that I would suggest you do the same. Momentum.
Yeah, not motivation.
Yeah, motivation, you know, you can come home from work and just be on the couch and say, I'm not feeling motivated. But if you think momentum, you're like, oh, I started this thing.
Right. I have at least. Yep, that's absolutely right. And I don't think I'll ever feel motivated until I'm in the flow doing whatever it is I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, momentum is much more reliable for me.
Yes. That's what I would suggest.
Awesome. So I do have a few questions for you, but I think I'm going to save those for our next chat. It's related to a couple of things that I've had in the back of my head that I've wanted to do, and I just would like to know more about what my chart says about those things in particular. But I think it would probably be best to save that for the next conversation since I'm running out of time.
I mean, I can answer pretty quickly, but up to you.
Yeah, I'll save it because I know that once you answer, I'm gonna want to keep talking. I'm gonna want to keep talking about it. But yeah, and you know what, let's stop here. And I will, bring the questions that I have for you to that chat, and we can focus on those then. But I really appreciate you going through my chart and sharing what you've shared thus far. It's all been really great to hear, especially from someone else rather than me looking at my own chart. I really like the way that you've kind of looked at things and made sense of how everything is appearing, and all of it really resonated with me. So I really appreciate that. And I really look forward to talking more and, just thinking about some other things I might want to ask.
Yes.
Yeah.
Look through the sign up. There's a description in the email of all the things I can answer. So
Oh, okay. Yeah. And I
yeah.
think in the survey when I first scheduled. So yeah, I'll look through those questions and all the things that you can answer and pick out a few things from there um, that I'm really interested in.
Perfect. Cool. Amazing.
Great. Well, thank you so much for the time this morning. I'm sorry I was a little late, but looking forward to continuing next Saturday.
Awesome. I'm excited to send me an email, please.
Yes.
Um, and also, you said it's still cool if I throw this up on YouTube for the kids.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, shoot me an email and I'll send you the Zoom recording link to this so you
Okay.
can watch and have it for yourself too.
Awesome. That would be great to be able to reference.
Yes. Cool. Amazing. I will talk to you soon, Ashley.
Okay. Talk to you in a week. All right. Bye.